Welcome to part 2 of Null Type 0. In the last one, I realized that I couldn't do this in one whole video because the screen recorder I'm using isn't that. Well, it's good as it's a screen recorder, so, but apparently you can't record that long of videos. So, we're just going to pick up from where I left off. Just so kids could get there. Now, since this was an all school, since this was the only school in the mall, it went from K to senior of college. So, Toxic was on the 11th floor. And today was his first day. Beep, 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 beep. Toxic woke from his slumber, feeling like a cat on a windowsill. He looked at his clock. It read 8 a.m. He yawned awake, got up, and got ready. Brushed his teeth, picked clothes from the short supply of clothes Smith bought him. Okay, let's see here. Let's see. One blue shirt, one red shirt, oh, and one yellow shirt to match all the blue pants, or one pair of shorts. Okay. He grabbed the red shirt, some blue jeans, got ready, and put on his coat, the only thing he had from his past life. A red and black jacket. Two knocks came from his door. Smith, door's open, said Toxic, getting his bag ready. Oh, okay, said Smith through the door. He opened it and saw Toxic in the red shirt. Ha! I knew you'd like it, Smith said in a tone of victory. Yeah, whatever. Any new Smith? Toxic knew Smith only came into his room for two things: to give him orders or gifts. Ah, yes. We have new rule. Toxic stopped, zipped his bag, and sat down on the bed. Okay, what is it? Okay, what is it? Toxic said while rubbing his eyes. Smith smiled. It's not a new rule, it's a changed rule. Smith dramatically said this as Toxic looked at him with eyes that said, I'd rather be in school. Anyway, Rule 34.3 stating that you cannot under any circumstance tell another human that you are a null has been changed to you may tell one friend or partner you're a null since you're a kid and secrets are hard to keep. Okay. Toxic was surprised. This was the first time he was allowed to have a friend that knew his secret. Even if it didn't do much or change anything, he still could have a friend. Wow, okay, thanks. Toxic was interrupted by Smith, who was still talking. This rule may be allowed as long as Null Zero wears a walkie-talkie linked to his agent's walkie. Toxic knew. Toxic then knew why this was allowed, so they could see how his powers reacted to other people. Toxic's only worry was if he hurt anyone. He hadn't before, however, it was still there in his mind. Is that all, Smith? Smith nodded, then presented Toxic with a brown bag labeled lunch. It's chicken and rice with crab rangoons, said Smith. Toxic took the bag and wait, what? Oh, Toxic took the bag and saw the walkie on the counter on his way out. He grabbed it, shoved it in his bag, and headed to the train station. Since he lived alone along the border of the wall, or as some called it, the ghetto part, since jobs had no place to store their waste, like garbage or failed products, they mostly just shoved it near the border. And well, no one really complained since the only other option was to toss it over the wall. But due to a rule from wall maintenance, we can't do that. Toxic arrived at the station, got on the train, and waited. He didn't have a phone or anything, so he just sat there waiting. After a minute or two, he saw that they were only two stops away from the school. Toxic was tired of sitting, so he stood up and held onto a bar. Once up, Toxic quickly heard a screeching from one of the back cars. He had no time to notice the train stopping, with his mind elsewhere. His grip on the bar. Okay, that's it for part 2.